Hi guys, this is a quick video on how to do your acrylic nail at home. So first off, you will need your 10 pieces of nails. You will need your nail glue. I am using crazy glue because that is what I have. And you will need your acrylic liquid. I am using the Mia Secret brand acrylic liquid and acrylic powder. Mine is a light pink powder, I believe. You will need your nail clipper. You will need your nail dehydrant, and you will also need your nail protein in order to protect your nail, and your acrylic brushes in order to apply your acrylic onto your nail. The first thing you will do is open your glue, and what we will do, we will stick the fingernails onto our finger. So first off, you want to make sure that you had your 10 pieces measured out to fit your finger. And you will apply your glue on the back of the nail within the region, the bottom area. There's a line that separates, so you'll know like exactly where to put your glue. And you will stick your nails on, and you will do that for all 10 fingers. After you get all 10 pieces of nail on your finger, what we will do is we will file the edges so it flushes with our natural nail. And we will also file the nail plate, the tip plate, where it meets the finger so it flushes with our finger. It doesn't have to flush all the way down, like exactly in line, but also we don't want it to be high where you will see the lines when you put your acrylic powder on. So we will file all 10 nails. You'll do that for all 10 nails. And after you filed, you will take your nail dehydrant and you will put that on your nail area, not the acrylic, not the fake nail, but on your nail area for all 10 nails, and also your protein. And after that is done, you will apply your acrylic. So you'll just dip your brush into your liquid, and then you dip it into your powder. And what I usually do, you start from the bottom and then you work your way to the top. So I start from the bottom where your finger, well, the outline of your finger, you put the acrylic powder, you press it down, and then you keep brushing downwards. So some people prefer their acrylic flat, but I'm going for a little bump up there. So I pat the acrylic powder, the acrylic mixture down in that region rather than just brush it straight out. And then I brush the rest out going towards the end. And you will do that for all 10 fingers. So I am just showing a little extras so you can see exactly what I'm doing. You want to make sure that your mixture doesn't go over your line for your finger, where your fingernail starts from the bottom up. You want to make sure that it doesn't go over that area. That is very important. If you want a natural look, you will make sure you stay in line with that area. And like I said, some people prefer a little curve like I am, so I like just pat the mixture on there so I have like a little bump, like a little curve, and then I go out thin on the edge. You also want to make sure you're putting acrylic mixture going all the way up to the ends. It doesn't have to be as much, but you want to make sure you get it on there too, because when you file your nail, you want to have something to file on rather than file your regular nail. So that way we're not just only putting mixture on the bottom half. That makes sense, right? So you share, you get it everywhere. I mean, don't worry about putting too much. You don't want to put too much, but don't worry if you seem like you're using a lot and put it on there. It's better to have more than less because you can always file it out. And especially if it's your first time doing it, you don't want to have less. And when you file, you like file down to the actual nail. So don't be afraid to put extra on there, because you can always file it to the shape that you want it to be. So basically you can file to fix if you have excessive on there. Also, you don't want to make it very thick where you're like filing for a long time. So once again, once your outline on the bottom is okay, you're good. And just cover it up where you won't see the lines between your real nail and your fake nail. And also, if the powder is getting dry when you're putting your acrylic on, you can dip your brush in the liquid in order to make sure you can still brush it out without getting any bumps in it. Also, I have some acetone in there where you see I keep dipping my brush and then brush it on the napkin. The acetone, what it does, it cleans your brush, so it avoids your brush from clumping up with your acrylic mixture. Because if you continuously using your brush in your mixture and you don't clean it, it is natural that you will get little clumps in there. So yeah, just have a little container with acetone where you can clean your brush as you're doing your acrylic nail. Like, it is important to have like a good brush. Doesn't mean you need an expensive brush, but if your brush is not functioning right, your acrylic will not turn out right. You want to have a smooth brush, something that you can brush with rather than something that's hard to brush with, if that makes sense. So once your brush is good, you're good. I prefer to me a secret brand because it's not runny. I've used different powder and liquid, and I always have like a runny problem. So some people said it's the ratio towards a mixture, but to me, a secret brand is not as runny as other brands that I've tried. But either way, your ratio is basically I just dip the brush in the liquid and then dip it in the powder, and it's not runny. I think it's the brand. So after I file my nail, I'm just going in with my little electric nail drill. And once again, that line area is important. So you want to make sure that is filed down where it has a natural look, like it's coming out of your skin. You don't want it to be like a straight bump, like that's my skin and there's a bump. You want it to flush. You want it to flush with your skin. And if you're going for that curve like I am, when it flush with your skin, then it goes up to a little curve and come back down like a little C. So you want to make sure your edges are filed, and be careful because you can cut yourself when you're filing your outline on your edge. So just use like the tip of your drill and file gently. This is not a powerful drill, so I don't usually get cuts with this drill because it's not one of those extra powerful one. It works. It works. At the same time, it doesn't go as fast or drill as fast, but it works for me. And then you just take your time drilling each nail, and you can file it to the shape that you want. And anything that looks like it's higher, uneven, you just file it out. And don't be afraid to go back and add extra acrylic. If you drill too much, or if there's a certain area that's just flat or that you miss, especially on your sides, don't be afraid to go back and fill it in, because the acrylic dries pretty quick, so you won't be waiting too long for it to dry in order for you to file that nail. They dry pretty quick. So I'm just filing my nails. And when I'm doing my nails, I like to tilt it downwards when I'm filing and when I'm putting my acrylic powder on. Because when you tilt it downwards, if your acrylic mixture is runny, it's going to drain down and it's still on the nail. Rather than when you have your nail flat on the table, it will pour off to the side. So that's just something that I always do. I always tilt my nail downwards when I'm applying and when I'm drilling. I feel like when I'm drilling, I get a better view. Having my fingernail tip downwards. And your sides are very important. And if you happen to get any acrylic behind the nail, feel free to take your nail drill and file behind your nail. You can always just use a regular nail file if if you have a strong, if you can, if it's usable, you can always use a regular nail file. So after you file your nail, you just brush off. Well, I'm just brushing it off. I did go wash it off. So when you're done all 10 nails, you wash it off before you paint your nails. And if you have any stuff stick onto your skin, you can just make sure you get it off. And yeah, you just drill until it's perfect for you. You feel like it's not uneven and you get it to the shape that you want. And I know it's harder to do your right hand because if you're a right hand person, it's harder to do your right hand. So like me, I have my hand in all different positions to get my right hand done. I will say is you just take your time when you're doing the hand that you write with. We're not all right hands, so I'll just say the hand that you write with. Just take your time when you're doing that particular hand because you're using your hand that you don't normally use. If you have to put your hands in the awkward position, feel free because at the end you just want your acrylic to look good. So just take your time with it, and that's what I'm doing with my left hand. I usually take my time. It takes longer to do my left hand, to do my right hand than my left hand. So I'm just gonna paint this with my gel polish. We usually do the base coat on bottom. That's the top coat that goes on top after you have all your polish on. And I'm just using a light brown and a glitter polish, a silver glitter polish. And I'll be using a light brown. These are all gel polish. So I will be using my UV light. That's the black light right there next to me. And this is the light brown that I will be using. I'm really not sure what design I wanted to put on my nails, so I was just thinking about it as I go along. So something simple but yet a little flashy. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and put my base coat on. You put your base coat on, you put it under your UV light. You put your polish on, you put it under your UV light for 30 seconds. Some is 60 seconds, mine is 30 seconds. And then you put it there so it can dry. And then if you're using, I did a silver on top of my brown. So after I put the silver on, I also put it under the UV light. And then after that, I put my top coat on. And I also put it under my UV light and it dries. And with my top coat, I did, after it's finished, I have alcohol. You can use alcohol wipes, or you can just put alcohol on a piece of napkin and you wipe your nail off. Because some top coats tend to be sticky. I have a sticky one and I have a non-sticky one. I'm never really sure which one I'm using because they're in the same bottle. And this is my finished results. I hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe. Thank you.